Did I say USB-CA again?
No.
Lost my train of thought. I got it. Okay.
Hey everybody, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Joe.
And we're coming to you from the Microsoft Education team. I actually started my career at Microsoft in customer advocacy and engineering, and now I'm so excited to be on the Surface team to talk about devices for education.
And I'm coming from the Microsoft Education team as well, and my background is actually special education. So when we start talking about hardware and software, I really try to think through and help support teachers in how we really support all the learners that are in our classrooms.
The Surface team has been really busy these past few months, coming out with a lot of great new innovations to our device portfolio. And so we're super excited to talk to you about our newest addition, the Surface Laptop Go. Joe?
Here it is.
Look at that.
I like
Platinum.
It's very light. I like the feeling of it.
Yeah. It is, oh, it's super light. Oh, and the bottom, it's this like plastic material.
Exactly.
Way cool.
Oh wait, we've got more colors than that. Yeah.
Ice blue.
Ice blue, yes. Actually, the finish on the top is really nice, this metallic finish up top. And as I look around it, you've got all the ports that you need, right? You've got your headphone jack, because, you know,
Remote
as technology
learning.
progresses, you want to make sure you still have that. USB-C port for some of those modern connectors you have, and USB-A as well for all those older peripherals that we still have. And as I turn it to the other side, we've got the power connector for Surface. And one of the ways that I use it the most is with a dock and an additional monitor. So being able to have a smaller form factor teachers can carry to school, at home, and be able to connect those other monitors so that they can do all the things you need to do in hybrid environments, it's very important.
So, Joe, I know that there's so many options out there for teachers and students that become great technology solutions for the classroom, but another like really cool device I want to talk about is the Surface Duo.
Absolutely.
And specifically, how I feel like school leaders, learning support specialists, some of your staff at a school system can really benefit from this new device.
I'm really excited to talk about the Duo. I'm very excited to actually have it in my hands. Ever since I've seen it, I've realized there's a lot of things that educators, and those who you mentioned, those instructional coaches, principals, leaders, they're all asked to do so much, but how do you improve your productivity when you need more than one screen? You need more than one screen to go with you everywhere you are.
Right.
So I am very excited to be able to show something like the Duo. So now that I have it open and it's going, right? One of the things that are very cool about this is, like I said, you've got more than one screen. More than one screen to be able to do all the things that you need to do on it. So from an education leader standpoint, you think about being able to make sure your school is safe and secure. You've got your protocols if there's some kind of a incident at the school, a fire drill, being able to make sure you can communicate with your team on one side, and you've got your list of what needs to happen, your protocols on the other side. So you've got communication and policies, or everything you have all in one device that goes with you and also fits in your pocket. So if there's an emergency, you can put it in your pocket and go do what you need to do.
Okay, so Joe, we just talked about everything that's new in Surface that's come out the past few months. We talked a little bit about that teacher persona, students, parents, school leaders. I really want to hear more about teachers. What do they need? What tools are they looking for? Like, what makes their job easier?
Teachers have to do everything. That's the difficulty of it. They need to be multitaskers. They need to be multimodal teachers. They need tools that do everything. And you need something that has the power to do it all, right? So that flexibility to be able to meet every student where they're at, you need a device that meets all of your needs and does everything with you. Spoke with educator friends of mine. One said that having students without a touchscreen is very difficult as she's modeling the behavior and modeling the tasks on the screen. So not having that. One of our showcase schools here in the Seattle area, they have the students pick devices from a group, but they make sure that all the devices are ones where the students can go to the front and be presenters, right? So things like the Pro and the Book are the choices that they give them so that you've got that ability to meet all the needs that you have.
Especially as we think about remote learning, like instruction from afar, I feel like is almost like an oxymoron. I'm not really sure how you do that, and it just, teachers become superheroes when they can figure that out. So tell me more about the Surface Book and how that can help teachers with that exact problem.
The thing that I like about the Surface Book is that it has the power that every educator needs, that everybody needs. It is that powerhouse thing. And what always surprises me is that the Surface Book isn't really everything. It's all in this one piece right here. And so being able to go around my house, around my classroom, be able to make the videos that I need, whether it's for that live learning that happens or videos that I'm making for the students, I want to be able to have something that has the power that does what I need it to do. And then it gives me the opportunity to, I can share my screen, I can be in that call, and I can be writing. This can be my whiteboard. That is an infinite whiteboard for the students that are learning from afar, right? So that hybrid model, that remote model, it's difficult, it's hard, but with the right tools, you can start to actually give students new and accessible experiences to really learn in new ways and start to be engaged and drive their own learning.
So before we talk about the Surface Pro, kind of this is where Surface all began, right? This was the beginning of all this great innovation. I want to talk about the Surface Hub. I feel like it's almost a device some people don't know about or they forget about, and I just don't know that people understand what you can do with it. Do you remember that time we sat down with Allie and we were the students and she was the teacher?
We are going to do a practice lesson using the Surface Hub. My students and my class have been working on writing and improving their writing structure so that they include different types of sentences. Joe, Lauren, you remember we were talking about the different sentence types? Do you remember the 4 sentence types? I started writing them down here just to remind us. Statement, command, question, and this might help jog your memory. What's the last sentence type?
Exclamation.
Exclamation. So we're going to add that to the table here. So I'm going to add that. All right. So Lauren, do you happen to remember where Remy is from in the story?
Puffin Village.
From Puffin Village. Okay, so we can do an image search in Bing. I'll just write in Puffin, because I know what a village is, but what's a puffin? Ah, there we go. I'm just going to add that to our pictures. There we go. And there's our puffin. This is your task. If you would, you are going to look at these 2 pages right here and begin to read the text, and we are going to begin inking directly on the document. The Surface devices enabled a complete English language arts lesson that included all domains: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. We used familiar text, images, and actual student writing samples. Both the students and I engaged with the lesson artifacts using digital ink and touch. The digital whiteboard mimics actual classroom whiteboards in that I can create real-time organizational structures like a table using the ink to table feature. The devices I used for the lesson easily enabled hybrid learning. Students, whether in the classroom or connected from home, were engaged with me, each other, and also the content. Specifically, the Surface Hub allowed me to give in-person direction to those students in the room, as well as those students connected remotely. Our students need to engage in all senses and collaborate with one another for better learning outcomes.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I remember acting out a class because what that video allowed us to do was really kind of show an example of what hybrid learning can look like, where you have a device that's a large enough whiteboard to engage those that are in person, but also engage those that are remote. So being able to show the lesson on the whiteboard with teams running at the same time on the hub, engaging us that were there and those that were online, is exactly what the hub is built for, and is exactly the kind of devices that we're looking for right now.
And I remember Allie, she had her Surface book with her. She was doing instruction on the hub, which was conveniently on a steel case stand, which was easy to move around, mimic what it's like to be in that hybrid classroom scenario. And when you give students that break time to really engage in the activity, she just went right back in and picked up her book and kept doing what she needed to do, and then went right back to the classroom.
It was really great. You bring up a good point. Being able to move that hub around from class to class, from space to space, means you can get more out of that investment, right? So steel case makes a great stand. She actually had her book on the stand and was able to take it where she needed to be, reminiscent of those VCRs on those old TVs back when I was in school. But now you can do so much more than watch American Tail and Charlotte's Web. Now you can create your own videos of your own animals doing whatever it is that you want. And tools like Video Editor with the HD cameras on Surface.
So true. Okay, so now I want to talk about the Surface Pro. This is where Surface began, right? This is one of our first devices. We've innovated over time. We've gotten to what is now the Surface Pro. So do you want to trade devices and
Let's trade
tell
devices.
me more about this? Okay. go.
Here, what I like is you can use that pen.
Thank you.
I'm going to keep with the silver platinum.
Perfect.
The Surface Pro actually started a whole new category, kind of like it's a 2-in-1 now is what everybody calls it. And the real big piece of it is the kickstand in the back, which has evolved and become something very special over the years. Because even though it's more than just a laptop device, the 2-in-1 aspect of it allows it to be used in so many different situations, so many different places, so many different surfaces. It's come to this point where we expect more out of our computers to be more than just this computational device, but it's actually, now it's our classroom, it's our learning environment, it's everything that we do. So everybody now is expecting more out of devices, out of computers, to be more than just a computer.
It sounds like the Surface Pro really like started it all. Like, I know I've heard about the Pro being around for so long, but this idea of the device having to keep up with the user, especially for education, like that's really where we started.
It's absolutely where we started. So, when it comes to the educators, we want to make sure that you've got the tool that meets all the needs that you have. And the book, the Pro, the entire Surface family, there's a device for you, and there's a device that will meet the needs of your students in your building, out of your building, wherever they may be.
Okay, so Joe, we spent a lot of time talking about what's new in education,
Yes.
that teacher persona. Now I want to talk about students.
Let's talk about students.
Okay, I think I'm going to quiz you. Are you ready for your quiz? Ready for a pop quiz, Joe?
Never, but let's
Okay.
do it.
So I'm going to quiz you on some common misconceptions, things we hear a lot about Surface devices, and I want you to tell me if they're true and false, and if they're false, why?
Okay, I hope
Okay.
I get this right. 2-part questions, love these.
Okay, so true or false? Tablets only work for primary education students.
False.
Tell me why.
Okay, well, that is a belief because usually what you have when you use technology with young kids is you give them the ability to interact with technology with their hands. They're very hands-on learners. What the Surface line does with the touchscreen and the inking, it allows that to continue to grow with them, right? So you think of anything that's built for young kids, that which has the best stamina and longevity are things that are able to grow with the students.
Next question.
Next question.
Students only need a clamshell device.
Only need a clamshell device. Let's say false.
Tell me more.
As we just talked about, teachers need a device that meets all of their needs. Students also need to be able to have access to technology that meets all of their needs. So whether they have mobility needs or they have dexterity needs, whatever it is that they're using, whatever it is that they need to interact with the curriculum, the content, their peers, their instructors, they need technology that will meet them there and do it with them.
Your next question.
Let's do it.
With that, full-size keyboards are ideal for both students and teachers.
True, true. We always want to be able to have a fully functioning keyboard because that is a skill that is able to be generalized to all other environments.
How about this one? A 2-in-1 device is not a true laptop.
That's a hard one. Let's say false, but with the caveat that it's more than a laptop,
All right.
right? It's a 2-in-1, so it is a laptop and it is something else, right? So that's a tricky question. I think you'd have to argue with that one a little bit because what you get with the 2-in-1 is you get all the functionality you have from a computer and you get that functionality from a tablet.
Your next question, Joe.
Okay.
A device with a 10.5-inch screen is too small.
False. 10.5-inch screen can seem small, but the most important piece of that is the aspect ratio. And the Surface Go has a 3:2 aspect ratio, which actually gives you more real estate on the screen. So you're able to see more of the content that you need.
All right. Surface devices are great for accessibility and special education.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Being able to flex and move and do all the things that students needed to do is 100% the accessibility tool that they need. And not only that, you've got a fully functioning PC that can go with the student on their wheelchair to their class, in their safe space, in this learning environment, out to the hall, wherever their learning happens, however their learning happens, the device goes with them and it meets the needs that they have.
Well, thanks so much, Joe, for stopping by and hanging out with me, talking about all these great devices. I just love advocating for teachers and students, and I think that these are great solutions and tools for them. I'm just so excited to see what they do.
You're welcome. Love being here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.